Happy Monday morning. Thank you to Casey's Security for sponsoring Mornings with Luann and Tim every single morning. We so appreciate it, as we appreciate you tuning in and watching every day. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm not as dry as you.
Pardon?
Well, you're sitting here. She's sitting here before the show starts. She's like, my hands are rough. My hands are rough as sandpaper, and she's rubbing up against me. Like, so why are you punishing me? God,
you're so mean to me.
You've got some cream out there.
I know, and I just put some on. There's the salt stuff. You mix salt with oil, and then you scrub it as an exfoliator. I did it last night, and it didn't help.
Well, do you have any lotion out there? Or?
Yeah, I do. I put it on already.
Well, get a bucket.
Just stick your hand in some lard.
I'm soaking it, exactly.
Cook some bacon,
Gosh
let
almighty.
it cool down, and just, right?
That's like, you rub your rough skin against me. Keith always says, feel how cold my hands are.
Oh, I know, right?
Why gotta do that?
Yeah, for sure. Peter Buttigieg.
What the?
Wow.
That was unexpected.
That was totally unexpected.
Mayor Pete, as they call him,
Mayor Pete
dropped out of the presidential race. Presidential race.
In the U.S.
In the U.S. of A.
Yes. Yeah, so big shock. He was just, and he was so elegant. I just wish he had a little bit more of the numbers that he needed, because I think there's a future there for him. Yeah,
well, so I asked you, has he thrown his support behind another candidate yet?
Not yet, not officially. I think he's going to go with Biden.
Everyone seems to be going with Biden.
It's like the PAC and Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is like way over here, and the rest of the PAC,
And the Russians all want Bernie Sanders.
Yes, because they think he'll lose against
And so
Trump.
do the Republicans.
Yeah. So
Elizabeth Warren is
I think she's awesome too.
She'd be my pick.
But you know what though? I think that it would be okay with me if Biden got it. I wouldn't mind.
Well, they seem to think that he's the one to take Donald Trump down. So.
Yeah, I don't know. He's so nice. How do you do that, right?
Well, what?
He's very
Biden?
Yeah, he's very nice
But how come he keeps forgetting where he is and telling stories about being a prisoner in South Africa, which wasn't true? Like, where's he getting all this stuff from?
Well,
and they keep catching them. Like, smarten up. Don't tell. The one thing you got to do is lie, because that's the one thing that Donald Trump does all the time that everybody hates. So be careful. Don't lie.
They'll Google you. They will.
Don't make stuff up.
They'll fact check.
Fact check.
Yes, absolutely. Adam Levine.
What's up?
Apparently he was having a little bit of a temper tantrum, which he's kind of known for.
He is? I didn't really know that.
Yeah, he was playing a concert in Chile, and he was sonically challenged.
Is that a word?
I don't think so. He was having a hard time with audio. He was having a hard time hearing and monitor. So he was just having a little hissy fit up there and just pouting and just like mad and cranky.
I guess the crowd was singing along at one point, and so he chided them and said, do you want to sing this or can I sing this? Or do you want to hear me sing this?
Can you imagine? Most artists are thrilled when the audience sings because they know their song that well. Right?
I would think.
So he went on Instagram anyway and apologized, and he said, sometimes it's just really difficult. I do a lot of concerts. And
I take my work very seriously, and sometimes too seriously, and so when I was sonically challenged.
So
he acted out. He almost, to the point where, he almost canceled the whole thing, apparently.
Yeah, he just, you know what? It's time to be like, put your big boy pants on.
And then he gets on the internet and he does his apology, which is hardly an apology. It's just making an excuse for his behavior, not really saying he was sorry for his behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But apparently the next Chile concert was much better. So.
But now, was he performing as Adam Levine or was he performing with Maroon
5?
With Maroon 5. I never understand the difference between the two, I guess. So he has a solo career and a Maroon 5 career.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Drake now.
Ew.
Well, he's released. He surprised his fans on Saturday. I guess there was on Entertainment Tonight. It was announced that Drake was dropping 2 new singles,
and he's huge. So excitement.
One's called When to Say When, and the other's called Chicago Freestyle. So we gave a listen, and it's nothing against rap, Jacob, because Jacob's behind the camera and Jacob.
Yes.
But I didn't think that. Would you say that Drake is known more for rap, Jacob, or more for like singing? I thought more singing.
He started with rap, and
he did start with rap. I didn't realize he started with rap.
So it sounded like more like his older stuff.
Yeah. So these were rap tunes, and I was not.
You know what? And I don't know a lot about rap, but when I was listening to it very quickly, being judgy right now. It was kind of uneventful.
Yeah.
It was just kind of
And the song is called Jabba the Hutt. A Jabba Jabba
Jabba
Jabba.
Jabba Jabba Juba.
Anyway,
Jabba,
I don't
Jabba,
know.
Jabba, tickle your bum and like just weird things come out in rap music. I don't get it.
Hey now, what about a whole bunch of musical artists who posed for Calvin Klein? Have you seen the ads?
No.
Holy mother of underwear.
Really?
Justin Bieber.
I assume he's
Nothing
looking
comes
okay.
between him and his Calvins. I'm telling you.
Are you switching brands?
Well, I know that he was circumcised.
Apparently he's well.
Well, it's just you because it's
Really? Where can I
there's
see
a whole-
these?
Oh no, I'm not kidding. And it's not just they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Photographer Mario Sorrenti, and the campaign is called.
You can't even talk.
The campaign is called Deal With It. So there's voiceovers of them talking about their quirks and stuff, and then saying, "This is me. This is who I am. Deal with it. This is what I like.
Okay.
This is who I am." So here are some of the artists involved in this campaign: Justin Bieber, a singer named she goes by the name.
Oh.
That's nothing. No, wait. There's others. There's somewhere. I was counting the veins. SZA. Is she somebody?
Za.
Okay, Maluma. He's a Colombian singer. A Chinese guy named Lei Zhang, who's from the Chinese South Korean boy group EXO.
Oh.
Hunter Schafer. Kendall Jenner.
Oh.
Have a crouton. Would get stuck in her throat. She's so bone thin. And Lil Nas X. Little Nas X.
Yeah.
So they're not, and not all underwear. Some of them are wearing denim outfits, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, but Lil Nas X. Look. Okay.
Oh.
The fashions are great.
So sexy.
The
My
underwears are
goodness.
fabulous, and I love the campaign.
Who's the middle there? Is that the gender? group?
I don't know. I can't really tell.
I can't.
Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I love them.
They didn't ask you.
They didn't. And there's video and there's still shots. So look for those.
All right. I'm gonna Google that for sure. Just to see the denim. I mean.
I heard you're going to be talking about Brotherhood on the news.
Yes, the movie.
The movie that Shadows of the Mind Film Festival featured it on Saturday evening. And I couldn't go because I was emceeing the Chamber of Commerce Business Achievement Awards. But Keith went to the showing. Now, this was filmed in Wawa and Toronto.
Michipicoten Lake.
Yes. It's a tragic story about young boys who are they're orphaned by their fathers. So they're all of them have that in common. They've lost their fathers for one reason or another. And there's a summer camp that they go to where they bond and they get some really good positive male influences. They do camping and all this stuff. And it's a great and this is based on a true story. And
then there's
tragedy
a tragedy
strikes. There's a tragedy.
So you got to watch it.
So I'm not going to give away the story, but I'll tell you this. Keith was, of course, the on-set supervisor, which means that he is always on the set.
He was there, like he worked that film?
Keith worked that film.
Way to go, man.
So he had to be there, so he watched everything that happened in that film because he's sitting with the camera people and he's costumes and checking and continuity and making sure they're in the right outfit, all that kind of stuff, what he does. So he also had to be in the water. Keith had to be in the water. A lot of this film takes place in the water.
Right.
All the water sequences were shot in Toronto. They did all the exterior stuff up north, but then they went to Toronto, and it's Canada's largest sound stage that they worked on to film this in the water sequences.
No way.
And they had to build a pool. Now apparently they did it in one studio and it was so big there was no room for all the equipment and they couldn't get all the shots. They had to disassemble it and move it to the largest sound studio.
Oh my goodness.
And then so Keith had to be actually in the water with the actors because a lot of the stuff happened. So anyway, you would think that he would know the story. I mean, he did know the story. He said he cried for on and off for the whole film because
really?
he said it's just beautifully done, beautifully shot, beautifully acted. And here's a sweet story. He went to buy tickets for the show at the box office in the Station Mall, and he found out while he was standing there that they were sold out. He was heartbroken, and then he hears a voice say, "Is that Keith Bowser?" And he looks, and it's the director, Richard Bell, who was in town because he did a question and answer after the movie, and Keith was like, "Hi,
oh my God, I have goosebumps.
I wanted to get tickets and I couldn't." And Richard said, "Well, you can be my +1."
Oh my word!
So he sat
Keith.
beside the director, and Richard mentioned what Keith's role was, and that Keith was in the audience. And after the show was over, after the Q&A was over, Keith said, I kind of had my own Q&A because people came up and started asking me about what I did in the film.
Lovely. Good for you.
So apparently the film is fantastic. So congratulations to all involved, and to my partner Keith. Congratulations on being involved in some wonderful films.
Good for you. And you know what? Congratulations to the staff of the festival for picking such good movies.
Fabulous films this year.
The whole
29
series.
of them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful. Who's on the show today?
Okay, I've got a couple of wonderful charitable organizations. The first is the Twinkie Foundation.
Oh, good.
So Karen Lefebvre is here because she and her husband Greg started this foundation 3 years ago, and it's a really feel-good story about what's going on with the Twinkie Foundation. And then also Rick Fall is here. Rick does a run as a fundraiser, and it's wait till you hear about how far he's going and how much he'd like to raise, and you can help by pledging. So all of that, plus Luann has the news on this beautiful sunny Monday morning in Sault Ste. Marie. We'll be right back after this, and thanks KC Security.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Angelo, it's me, Vito. Imbecile, your brother. Listen, you bring 10 gallons of flat eggshell or white paint.
This past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
This is ONNtv.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. It's been a bit since you've been on the show, Karen Lefebvre.
Like a year.
With the Twinkie Foundation.
It's my anniversary back.
I just saw Karen, we were talking about the great time that we had at the Chamber of Commerce Achievement Awards.
Yes, it's a fantastic event.
I brought you a little mug here. One of the winners was Erica Hogan from Hogan's Homesteads. She gave me that mug as a gift. So thanks Erica, and
we love
congratulations
Erica
on your win. And the Twinkie Foundation.
Yes, they won Community Not-for-Profit Business of the Year.
Right.
Shocked.
Were you shocked?
Shocked.
There were so many amazing and worthy nominees.
So
obviously.
new, and then we have had our fingers crossed, obviously Greg and I, and then the screen came up with like the 16 nominations, and we both kind of just looked at each other and was like, well, maybe next year. Like our name's up there, perfect. And then they called our name. I was just,
Let's tell our viewers, in case anybody isn't familiar with the Twinkie Foundation, and how it came about with you and your husband Greg from Superior Chrysler Dodge, right?
Superior Chrysler
Dodge and Jeep.
Yes.
I know. So do you mind telling a little bit of background story?
No problem whatsoever. We had twin girls, both of them required to, a hospitalization when they were born for quite some time. So we went through the journey ourselves of having to stay in Toronto with sick children. I was there for 6 weeks, and then the girls were born, and so we stayed an additional 3.5 months.
You were there so the complications were known in advance? Is that why you were there for 6 weeks?
We knew when the girls were 18 weeks. In utero.
In utero.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was there inpatient, pregnant for 6 weeks on my own. It was lovely. I got to watch TV and catch up on all my Netflix. But away from home.
Right.
Girls were born, and then they were in hospital for 3.5 months after that.
3.5 months after.
5 months almost to the day. We were in Toronto total.
Now, I was asking you about what kinds of accommodations are available, and you mentioned Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah.
And I asked, is there a fee?
There is. Yeah.
$15 a day.
$15 a day.
Which doesn't sound too bad until you add up. So can you tell us what the bill was for the first?
Yeah, our Ronald McDonald House bill, simply from when I checked in at the end of May till September, was over $1,600.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't count travel. That doesn't count the expense
meals,
right?
Yeah, travel back and forth for my husband to come down on the weekends.
What about lost wages? What about
wages?
When you add all this stuff up?
Yeah.
It's monumental.
It's huge.
And not to say that it wasn't tough for you guys too, but imagine somebody. I mean, you have a pretty good life.
We had savings and Aeroplan. Thank God we did.
Imagine if you were living hand to mouth.
If we didn't.
And had no savings, had no home. We're living in an apartment, what if one person what if you were only a single income family? I mean, there are so many, what if you were a single parent?
And we realized all these factors. We realized how fortunate we were in our case and how easily we could have been in another scenario and have just had a whole different experience. It was stressful as it was.
Well, let's talk about when you went back the second time, because Ronald McDonald House, you have to understand, they do amazing things, but many of those, they're longer term stays. A lot of the children there are there for cancer treatments, bone marrow, as you said.
Yeah.
So the second time you went down, you were in a hotel.
Yeah. So we didn't talk about this before, but I'll add that 70% of the families that apply to Ronald McDonald House can't get in.
70%.
70%.
They have 81 beds?
They have 81 rooms in Toronto alone, simply because they're at max capacity.
Right.
You don't have a Ronald McDonald House stay, you don't have family, you don't have friends, you have no choice but a hotel. When we went for my daughter's second surgery a year later in 2015, we stayed for 3.5 weeks at the Eaton Chelsea, which is literally across the street from Sick Kids. Over $3,500. I can't remember the exact, just to stay.
And that was the hospital rate, the special rate for...
And that was the medical rate for the hospital. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Which is astronomical.
It is.
When you think about it.
It could be devastating to a family. Never mind. And you're already stressed.
You're already stressed to the nines.
You're dealing with a child who's ill, who needs medical attention, and to add that financial stress on top, I can't even.
It's devastating.
And so what have you done? You formed the Twinkie Foundation.
So it was my husband's idea, and I'll give him credit every time I can, because I kind of run with it and I do these things. He was the brainchild of it. He came home one night and he came home to Ronald McDonald House one night, and he walked in the door and he said, I'm going to, I want to do this. We're going to start a foundation. We're going to call it the Twinkie Foundation and name it on behalf of the girls, because our girls were nicknamed the Twinkies.
The Twinkies?
He said, I have nightmares. He said, thinking about what would happen if we didn't have the financial means to get us through this time. What if something happened with Charlie, our heart baby, and she was a minute-by-minute baby? What if something happened to her and I couldn't get here, and I missed her last days, or I missed her? He would like. It was tough for me to hear it. It was tough for him to say it. And he's like, I want to start a foundation to help families who are in our scenario, so that they don't have to worry as much about the financial aspect. Let them concentrate and worry about, making their child happy, making their child feel better. Let us help with the financial aspect as much as we can. And we obviously can't control every variable, but that we can help with.
So now, the girls are great.
They're great.
Yes.
Charlie slept with her award last night. She thinks it's hers. Yeah, this is the heart child. She literally, I wanted to bring it to work, and she's like, well, can I take it to... She literally has to take pictures of it. That. Had to take it to bed last night, so I convinced her. I was like, well, Charlie, this is a hard, piece of metal. Let's not cuddle into this. I don't want you to lose an eye. So I compromised and we put it on her dresser,
On her
and that's
dresser
where it
so
is
she
right
could
now.
fall
I
asleep looking
can't
at
take it. Yeah, it's hers. Yeah.
Okay, so now.
But they're doing good. They're doing so good.
So how did you manage to come home with twins after all of this, and then start a foundation? And you're a CA, so you had to do a lot of the paperwork and the legwork to make this happen. I mean, that's your background, but still.
Yeah.
What did you say, like 21 pages of documentation to go through to get?
The application, to register for a charity is 21 pages long, and it's quite in-depth and it's quite detailed, and so it should be.
Yeah.
This is the government pretty much saying you can give tax receipts for tax deductions, right? So, but it wasn't foreign to me because I've been in that world and set up corporations from my previous background. So, so fairly straightforward, just time-consuming and tedious, which is my gig.
That's your life?
I was okay. That's my life. That's what we do. And to have the time,
I don't think it's time-consuming. I don't think it's tedious with twins. But anyway, yes, that's not the part that's tedious.
Especially when you have to keep them sleeping metal objects at nighttime.
Okay, so you formed the foundation. You get your board together, right? You had to get a board, obviously. And then the process was people would come to you, and was there an application process?
There is. It's kind of short and sweet and simple. We have a website. If you need help, you go to our website, which is www.thetwinkiefoundation.ca. The application is right online. Fill out the application and ask a bunch of different things about the diagnosis, who your family doctor is, what help you've been getting, who you are, age, all that stuff comes right to me. I review it. We go through, we get the necessary paperwork for families to be able to, health card, birth certificate, confirmation of appointment, Northern Ontario travel grant status to confirm the appointment, and then we work through it from there. So it's a simple process. There's only 3 qualifying items. You must be from Sault Ste. Marie or within 100 kilometers of Sault Ste. Marie. We increased it last year just because of the amount of funding we had. Before it was just Sault Ste. Marie. We have to have a confirmed appointment, obviously, at a hospital 200 kilometers or more outside of Sault Ste. Marie. So basically, if you have to go Sudbury outwards, we can help. And then you must have a child under the age of 18.
Under the
age of 18. Children, sick kids qualifier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
now, there was this breakdown you said about sort of 70% or 80% of the people who apply are looking for what kind of funding?
Oh my God, we almost forgot about that part.
Yeah.
So we recently got together as a board and said we have had a really fantastic year, which
Thanks
is
to your
fantastic.
fundraising efforts and the generosity of Sault Ste.
You know what?
Marie.
I can't even take the credit for that on our end. It's other groups and other businesses
that are choosing to contribute.
Donating.
Like 100 Women Who Care.
100 Women Who Care, the Tim Hortons Smile Cookie Campaign, the Sault Ste. Marie Poker Run, so many companies.
And Sue Sings for Kids.
Sue Sings for Kids has been a huge contributor to us in the last 3 years. We've had a team choose us, and I
love that. I know.
So cool.
So now that's up to your purse. You've got a little more.
So we're
because when you first started, as you said, you didn't know how much money you'd have to give out, so you had to put a cap.
We started with bylaws, and we basically said we have no idea how much we're going to raise. So there's families out there that we know that could, be like us and be gone for months at a time. So we set a cap on it, and we said we'll allow per family calendar year $2,000 per visit. 80% of the families that we have only go for day trips or 3 days.
So this has allowed you to have more money in the bank to give to other families.
So for that 20% of the families that apply that are in our case and go for the lengthier period of times, we've now increased that yearly max from $2,000 to $4,000. So that gives them, and again,
because as you said, it can still be a drop in the bucket, but it's something.
And you know what? I have to add this too because we just had some, coverage out there in this year. Last year in total, we had 70 applications in 2019, which was phenomenal. 70 applications. To date, as of today or as of yesterday, we've had 30. So we're trending this year for over 150 applications.
Wow.
So it's the funding is there, but it's needed because we're going to be really busy this year.
One more time, Karen, how do we reach you for Twinkie Foundation? If people have questions or if they want to fill out an application.
The best place to go is the website.
And again, the address is
thetwinkiefoundation.ca.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice to see you. Congratulations again on the award from the Chamber of Commerce.
Congrats to you on the awesome emceeing job.
Oh, thanks.
And Jasmine
Rowley, of course. So much fun. Give my best to Greg as well.
I will.
And we'll be right back with Luann after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. If you smoked weed, wait at least 4 hours before getting behind the wheel, or don't drive at all if you're new to it, have eaten it, or if you've mixed it with alcohol.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Imagine knowing about incidents, closures, and roadwork all before starting your trip. Ontario 511 lets you know before you go. You can get real-time information directly from the Ministry of Transportation. Because the more you know, the easier it is for you to go. And spend the time doing the things that matter most.
There's a tradition I did not know about. We just had a leap year, obviously. Saturday was the 29th of February. Did you know that it was a tradition for, on leap year 29th of February would be a day that women can propose to, are supposed to propose to men? It's kind of like Sadie Hawkins, but for marriage proposals.
Really?
I had no idea.
For marriage proposals.
Leap year day proposal tradition. So, and now, yeah, women are allowed to propose, allowed to propose to men. And now, there's different versions of how this all happened. Some say in the 5th century, Saint Bridget complained to Saint Patrick. Now, there wouldn't have been saints back then, because you got to be a saint. You got to be dead to be a saint. So, Bridget complained to Patrick that women had to wait too long for their suitors to propose. So he, I don't know who would give him the permission to allow women to propose on leap year. But though, if the man said no after the woman proposed to him, he had to buy her 12 pairs of gloves to hide her hand so you wouldn't see that that she wasn't married. That was his punishment for saying no if she proposed to him. He had to buy her one for every month of the year.
Oh.
So you could wear gloves to cover your hands so they wouldn't see that you were had no ring. That you were an old maid.
You're an old babe.
In Scotland, it says that in 1288, I don't think this is true, this is like rumored, that Queen Margaret of Scotland was unmarried. And in 1288, she passed a law allowing women to propose on leap year, in a leap year. And there was a fine for the men if they refused.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Don't know if any...
It's a little hard to be romantic when you sort of have all those semantics you have to deal with, no?
And you say no, you're going to get fined.
Oh, I'm going to cut you out.
That's kind of like getting a divorce before you even get married. Right?
You know somebody who's always got it together, right?
Who's that?
Madonna. Wow, she's so got it together.
Really?
Isn't she? Well, apparently she's canceled some Paris shows.
She's
because she fell on stage and hurt herself. And she fell and stood up and tried to continue and broke into tears. Broke into, like she had a meltdown.
Okay, so I knew that she had health issues. I know that she's canceled a lot of shows because her body, and she says she has to listen to her body, canceling a lot of shows. But now this actually wiped out on stage and couldn't go on.
And fell, and she said, I feel like a doll that's being held together with tape and string.
Well, so stop it. You're rich. Stop it. Go home and lie down.
Lie down and put your feet up.
Just sing in a studio. Don't do concerts anymore.
Right?
Or if you're going to do a concert, sit on a stool.
So is that an ego thing?
She wants to remain young and fit. She doesn't. Yeah. I don't know.
Or
well, how about this? Relevance. She's reinvented Madam X. What is the Madam X thing? I don't understand the whole Madam X concept.
Me neither.
how about this idea? Maybe she's realized that she's really not a great singer, and that unless she has these big shows, nobody wants to hear her.
Oh.
I mean,
So she covers up
how
her
are her
voice with
albums?
production.
How are her albums selling? Does anybody know?
I have no idea.
Is she current? I mean, do you hear Madonna on the radio? Do you hear Madonna on the radio? Do you hear Madonna on Sirius Satellite? Do you hear her on, hey, Sault Ste. Marie's new radio station? I want to get into that. I haven't heard. Oh, we have a new, yes, Adrian Valaka and...
What?
Oh, I gotta get them on the show and talk about this.
Yes.
And they're featuring live local bands. I think they're doing it all like, yeah, oh, it's a big deal. We've been working on this for years.
Months ago, but I
gotta go get a hold of Adrian and Marnie, and let's talk about that on the show.
Call them. I want to know what you guys are doing.
Okay,
for sure.
let us know. Yeah, no, everybody's excited about it. My sisters are emailing me about it. That's a big deal. My sisters are sending me emails about things going on in Sault Ste. Marie. You know it's hot.
You know it's big stuff. Big stuff.
Yeah. It's Old Stuff Day.
Why'd you look at me like that?
You know how someone says, how are things going? Same old stuff. That's what it's about.
Oh.
So the idea is we recognize the boring nature of your daily routine.
Okay.
No, you're not. And make some exciting changes.
Okay.
On tomorrow's show, I'll have a brand new host.
That's an exciting change.
National Old Stuff Day. So spice up your life. Change it up a bit today. Do something fun and interesting and...
Dye your mustache green.
There you go.
Just do it.
That'll look like you just had like snot.
Ew. No. Oh, don't do that.
Hey, how about some news to spice things up?
Yeah, let's do some news. I'm going to do that for you right after this commercial break. So hang around.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Friday, city police arrested 29-year-old Jihad Al-Qusaydi, 21-year-old Jawad Sami, both of Toronto, and then 36-year-old Autumn Johnny of Kitchener for firearm and trafficking offenses. Earlier investigation revealed that Johnny and Al-Qusaydi provided false names to police, and both are currently released on conditions not to communicate with one another. Johnny was arrested Friday without incident, but Al-Qusaydi and Sami refused to get out of the vehicle they were in for about 50 minutes. The emergency services unit was called and arrived on scene in the ballistic armored tactical transport. The two were soon arrested without incident. A subsequent search of the vehicle and the hotel room the three were staying in located a loaded 9mm semi-automatic handgun, approximately 95 grams of fentanyl, 80 grams of cocaine, and 18 grams of methamphetamine, with an estimated street value of close to $58,000. Police also found a digital scale, a quantity of Canadian currency, packaging materials, along with a number of cell phones and electronic devices. They were all held for bail court.
That was part of our travel day, and Sault Ste. Marie, we had an office here, we had many meetings here, and we got a lot of the talent crew-wise who worked on the film from Sault Ste. Marie.
A film by writer and director Richard Bell called Brotherhood was featured in the great lineup at the Shadows of the Mind Film Festival, and it's based on the true story of the tragic tale of boys lost at sea, and it was filmed on Michipicoten Lake near Wawa.
Like a lot of people, when they're making films and they're shooting in the north, they kind of like go up to Parry Sound, or they kind of go up to Sudbury and stop there because they want to be close to hearth and home, right? So for me, like, nothing was really popping for wow factor, but then when we got to Michipicoten outside of Wawa, that's when I had that moment of like, wow, like just wow. My inspiration was, I read a story about it many years ago when I was just living in Toronto for a summertime, and it was a tiny story in a newspaper about an 80th anniversary mass for the boys who drowned on Balsam Lake. And I just thought that would be such a great idea for a movie because it has all the elements of a great film. It's a very transformative story. It's like all these phoenixes rising from the ashes, these boys having to be forced into adulthood, all while the clock is ticking. And it was a story, and a true story, about just this beautiful and nuanced kind of dignity and heroism and a feeling of putting yourself after others that just inspired me. And so I went on like a treasure hunt. I went exploring, for the true story, and then filled in all the blanks. But I would just hope that if people who see the film, if it, raises the hairs on the back of their necks, which I hope it does, I hope that they spread the word.
On Saturday, Sault College hosted the 14th annual Seedy Saturday. The annual event helps gardeners prep for the upcoming growing season and was open to the public. Seeds weren't the only focus. There were lots of activities and local vendors too.
Seedy Saturday is a grassroots event that originated as a protest against companies that bought patents on seeds and prevented gardeners from saving their seeds and selling them. So over in Europe and the UK, they protested by starting up these events on Sundays where they would share the seeds. It's come to North America, and now the Seedy Saturdays have grown from about 30 a year across Canada to now close to 200.
What is Seedy Saturday trying to accomplish?
Well, basically we're trying to provide an event for gardeners who are starved right now for the ability to put their hands in soil. So we put on this gardening event so that, they can get excited about the upcoming season. But also we want to bring, shed a lot of light on the importance of seed saving, how it's actually a revolutionary act. When you save seeds, it's a brave thing to do, and it's an essential skill that many people have lost. So we bring speakers in, and we have demonstrations, and we have tables that promote that.
And how many vendors do you have here today?
Every year we have 40. Okay, that's about as much as I can squeeze in, and it's quite a variety. We have a waiting list to get into the event for next year.
On Saturday, Entomica Insectarium officially opened to the public in a brand new location. Kids had the chance to interact with bugs and Entomica workers too. Youth volunteer Jordan Winter was on hand to answer questions and show off some leafy creatures. ONNtv was there to get totally bugged out.
Hello, this is Dani Dupuis reporting from the Canadian Bushplane Heritage Centre for the grand opening of Entomica. I'm here today from SaultOnline to report this beautiful grand opening.
This grand opening represents a whole new adventure for Entomica and for Sault Ste. Marie. It's STEM in education is so important now, and also the city's trying to sort of beautify itself for tourists, and something like this where you're combining science, you're combining public hands-on experiences, it's just perfect for the city. So this is a giant katydid, and they're from Malaysia. And so these guys are herbivorous. They're sort of closely related to grasshoppers. And we do actually have a different type of katydid here. So if you've ever seen those lime green grasshoppers, those are actually katydids.
And are they friendly? Can I stick my hand out here and see?
Yeah, they're very friendly.
Very lightweight.
So these guys don't have very good eyesight, but they have these really, really long antennae, and they'll use that to sense their environment. So if I put my hand out here, he's not able to see it. But if I touch this antenna,
What is your favorite bug?
It would probably be the orchid mantis. So they're a type of praying mantis that disguises themselves as an orchid, and they'll sit among the flowers and wait for moths to come that pollinate these orchids. And that's when they'll hunt their prey, so sort of an ambush hunter.
Everyone's welcome to enjoy the exciting world of insects, and Tomika's just here to make it beautiful.
Buttigieg has ended his campaign for president with a call for unity. The former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, fared poorly in South Carolina's primary and said last night that the path had narrowed to a close for his candidacy.
Recognize that at this point in the race, the best way to keep faith with those goals and ideals is to step aside and help bring our party and our country together. So tonight, I am making the difficult decision to suspend my campaign for the presidency. I will no longer seek to be the 2020 Democratic nominee for president, but I will do everything in my power to ensure that we have a new Democratic president come January. Let's move on together. Thank you.
Come on down and celebrate the leap year the right way with Maitland Ford Lincoln's Leap In and Drive Away event. Take advantage of spectacular one-time only deals on several 2019 and 2020 models, including the 2019 Ford Escape and the 2020 Ford F-150. Plus, you'll be receiving the fourth payment on your brand new vehicle completely free of charge. But you'd better hurry because Maitland Ford Lincoln's Leap In and Drive Away event will only last until March 2nd at Maitland Ford Lincoln, 1124 Great Northern Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
So we were just talking about how Madonna fell and should stay home now. Really? Madge, honey, it's time. Let it go. Just let it go, Madge. She wiped out. She's a broken doll, she said. Somebody else wiped out, though. Oprah.
Oh, come on.
The perfection of broadcasting. She fell down, go boom.
Where?
She was
Where?
just
Was
doing
she,
a,
like, at
she
home?
was doing a 2020 vision tour. No, she was on stage talking about balance. But more like balance in your life, not that kind of balance. You know how you have to balance work and your passion and your joy and all that stuff. So she was talking about balance and then she wiped out.
And she lost hers.
And she fell.
Wow.
Hard on her bum. And then she just said right away, wrong shoes. Got up and just carried on. Such a pro.
She didn't say, I'm a broken doll held together with tape. Oh, woe is me.
BTS, huge South Korean group, of course, boy band.
Yeah, there they are.
They just scored the 4th Billboard #1 album for themselves. Map of the Soul 7.
Have you heard any of their stuff?
No. Apparently they're awesome.
Should we listen to them? The kids love them.
The kids love them.
What kind of is it? It's pop. No, it's like
it's not rap.
No.
It's not rap. No, it's not rap. So it's
poppy.
Yeah, it's boyband-ish stuff.
Do they sing in multiple languages?
I don't know.
We know
They
nothing.
are.
We know nothing about the current trends. They sing what in English?
They sing in 2 languages.
In 2 languages.
Good for them.
Do we know either of those languages?
People who know 2 languages apparently have extra intelligence. Et je parle français comme il faut. Do you watch Judge Judy? You know what? I can't do that.
You can't do Pig Latin?
No, I cannot.
That's the easy one. There's a harder one that I don't. They do it by syllable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can't do it. Judge Judy, do you like her?
Oh yeah, she cracks me up.
Oh, she drives me crazy. I don't understand how people pay money to go on television and be abused by someone like that.
Because they want to be famous.
I guess. But you know what? She makes you look like a moron. Why do you do that to yourself?
What about her? You got news on her? She's rich, by the way.
Yeah.
She's very, very wealthy. Like one of the highest paid. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy. She's 77 years old.
Yeah.
The last season will be the 25th season in 2021. So she's going to wrap up Judge Judy. But then she's going to start another show called Judy Justice, where maybe she'll be on the street with a cane clocking you one in the head because you're a goof.
Wait,
she's
what's
so
Judy
mean.
Justice? Has she revealed the premise of what Judy Justice is?
No, but she's...
Here's another one. How much money do you need? You've got more money than God.
She bought her husband a Harley Davidson motorcycle for his 85th birthday, but it's a tricycle, she said, because she's worried about him. She said, I love him. I don't want him to kill himself. So she got one with three wheels on it, and he's not allowed to go out of the perimeters of their property. He can't cross the road. Judge Judy, get her done.
Oh my gosh.
Who's coming up next?
Rick Fall.
Oh.
Rick is running across.
He's going to be the only one that doesn't fall.
Speaking of fall, it's a leitmotif in today's show.
Yes.
We've got to get to that interview after this. You're going to love this story and what Rick is doing to raise money for Childhood Cancer Canada and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We'll be right back after this.
It's me, Vito. Imbecile, your brother. Listen, you bring 10 gallons of flat eggshell or white paint.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
If you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, there is hope and there is help. You matter. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The calls are free and confidential. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone.
This is Rick Fall, ladies and gentlemen. You might know Rick and his wife Colette from the Terry Fox Run.
Right.
You're the Sault Ste. Marie organizers of that event.
Yes, we have been for the last 8 or 10 years.
8 or 10 years. And it's not enough that you're running for Canadian Cancer Society in general. Now you're running for the kids.
Yeah, the kids are important. It's
so nice. It's kind of a theme show where you had the Twinkie Foundation on earlier,
exactly.
and now we've got you on.
That's cool.
So it's called Follow Rick, and I love how you've done that. Fall, F-A-L-L-O, Follow Rick. Yeah. Rick, you're running from, you're originally from out west.
From Duncan, BC, which is about 50 kilometers north of Victoria.
So that is your original home, was your calling. So Victoria is where your starting place is, and your home now for you and Colette is Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie for the last 31 years.
So this is home to home. Follow Rick, home to home. You're going to be, are you driving out in the motorhome to start in BC?
Yes, we're leaving at the end of March to drive to BC, spend a few days, a week or so with my family in Duncan,
Getting ready.
Getting ready.
Gearing up mentally for this.
And then heading down to Victoria on April 13th, leaving mile 0 from Victoria.
On April the 13th. Rick is running for 100 days. Plus days off?
Plus days off.
So it's 4 months. You're gone from April till August.
Yes.
This is incredible. The full distance is 4,200 kilometers?
Approximately, yeah.
I can see on the map right now, this is like a global map. You're there. Oh, there's your little icon all the way over there on the west coast. And so you have to run through the Rockies.
Yes, it will be through the Rockies. It's going to be a lot of up and downs, but it's...
And then you got to run across the prairies.
Through the flatlands, and it should be warm by then.
Yeah, and then you come back, you think that's a good thing you got the flatlands, because then you're going to come back to the Cambrian Shield.
Exactly. These people I've run with across Canada have said that between Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie is tougher than going through the mountains.
Imagine that. Wait, that's because it's Ontario highways.
that too, yeah.
Okay, so why? What made you decide to do this?
A number of factors. Working with the Terry Fox Foundation initially with a local run, and my mother passed away with cancer in 2013, and it just came to me that I should be doing something for this to give back to something. So I stuck with the cancer theme,
right.
And I thought children would be really good to help with Make-A-Wish as well.
So Childhood Cancer Canada will be a beneficiary.
And Make-A-Wish.
And the Make-A-Wish Foundation,
yes.
Of course, for those who don't know, the Make-A-Wish Foundation grants children's wishes, children who are
critically ill.
Critically ill. Yeah. Up to 17 years of age, is that right?
Yeah, 3 to 17 who are diagnosed with critical illness.
Which is basically terminal. Is it always terminal?
Not always.
Not always.
Not
that
always.
might be a misunderstanding.
Right. In fact, there are a lot of children who get their wish granted to them. They will rebound and
help.
And they will survive through to adulthood even further.
I think a lot. Well, if you think about it, you're trying to survive an illness. We all know that there's a mental health is very important when you're trying to heal your body as well.
Exactly.
So I can imagine giving a child something to look forward to and giving them that kind of, that uplifting experience in their lives, which is absolutely help with keeping their outlook positive. Right?
Exactly. In fact, I ran into somebody a little while ago. They said that their son was dying, and he was granted a wish from Make-A-Wish, and he told his dad, it brings tears to my eyes, he said, "Dad, my wish has been granted. Now I'll die peacefully."
Whoa. So, Rick, we're having a send-off to wish you well and to thank you for what you're doing, and also, I would imagine, to help raise some money to help with the run and to go to the charities. It's a week from this Wednesday, March the 11th.
Yes, March 11th at the Grand Gardens.
Grand Gardens North. If people want to get tickets and to support you, it's how much is it? $30 for adults, $15 for children under 4 years old. It's free.
Right.
It's a dinner.
It's a pasta dinner at Grand Gardens. Yes.
Drinks, dinner, prizes.
Prizes too. Lots of prizes.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots.
And how do you win prizes? Just do you have events, or is it door prizes?
It'll be door prizes and various ways of drop bags, silent auction, stuff like that. Yeah.
So now, because the motorhome, you're having it all decorated. You're going to drive out with your wife. Colette's going to do the driving, and she's going to support you while you're doing the running.
Yes,
she'll be with you the whole time.
Unless I tick her off, she'll run me over.
So, is somebody covering the van for you, the motorhome for you?
Yes, SK Group is doing a vehicle wrap for us, and it's going to be decked
Sherry
out with...
Burlinghoff?
Yeah. It's going to be decked out with the Follow Rick logo, which is on the website.
Fantastic.
And Make-A-Wish and Childhood Cancer logos.
This website's really something. It's going to track you all the way from Victoria to Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes, on the website, followrick.com, there's a...
And that's follow is FALLO. Don't forget, this is a play on words, followrick.com.
And there will be a tracking link on there which will be able to zoom in exactly where I am, which is updated every 10 minutes. So
there you go, and you can, and that's also where they go to donate.
Right, exactly.
So how are people donating? Is it through like credit cards, PayPal? How is it hooked up on the website? How you set up?
On the website, there's a couple places where you can click a donation link, and people pay on, like you said, with PayPal. PayPal.
E-transfer, PayPal, credit
card. We prefer online donations rather than cash donations because we don't want cash in the motorhome.
Oh, for heaven's sakes! Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you might go to some communities where people see the van and want to contribute cash when you get to a certain place. But for the most part, if you're somebody who's watching and Rick isn't coming through your town and you want to donate, and this is anywhere in the world can donate.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm hoping it's going to go global.
Well, we do, and we have viewers who watch us on Facebook Live who are all over the world, Trinidad and Australia, and we've heard from people in Venezuela or whatever. So feel free to go online and contribute to Rick. It's a wonderful cause. Now, where will you be staying? You'll stay in the motorhome on your days off?
We'll be staying in a motorhome and parking lots, Walmart parking lots. And recently we got on board, or Gateway Casino has come on board. So,
have they?
So they said that we can stay in their parking lots, or and they're
as you travel across the country, if there's a Gateway Casino, you can stay in their parking lots. And I'll bet you they'll help you.
They'll help us out too, and feed us, they said.
That's a great sponsor to have.
So,
donation amounts. I would imagine you would get a tax receipt for a certain amount over
$20 on the donation sites. Make-A-Wish and Childhood Cancer will issue receipts. In the end, at the end of this, they are going to split it 50-50 between the two foundations.
Between the two foundations.
This is the first time the two foundations have actually had a joint venture where
you brought them together.
Yeah, where they're doing a fundraising organization in one.
Very impressive. So once again, the run starts on April the 13th.
April 13th from Victoria.
People can pledge you starting right now?
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime, right up until August the 20th. We don't even. You haven't given a closing date.
Well,
I never know, Rick.
I hope to be back at the end by the end of August.
All right, we'd like to track you over the course of your run as well, and I'm hoping that we can do something where you will send us like little videos from your phone, different locations you're at when you have a stop, and maybe if you run into some interesting people along the way, you could be an interviewer for us and send us some video clips.
Well, I hope to, yeah.
And we'll just remind people as you travel about the website and how to pledge, and you can fill us in on how donations are going.
Great, thanks very
much. And then when you get back, please come on the show. Bring Colette too. I'd love to have her on the show.
Thanks very much, Tim.
Oh, a pleasure. Best of luck to you. And Wednesday, if you want to get those tickets, how do they get tickets, Rick?
Sorry.
As well, or what?
Tickets,
if they want to go on to the dinner.
They can email or get a hold of us on our cell phones.
Oh, you go to Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook.
At Follow Rick, FALLO Rick. And the email is followrick@gmail.com.
Right.
And that's, once again, the dinner, but mostly we're looking for those pledges.
Pledges, I'm looking to raise 300 to 500,000 for the two foundations.
Knowing Sault Ste. Marie and the people who are watching, I bet you'll get there.
And people across Canada.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll be back with Luann right after this.
Okay.
It's hunting season, so this is probably pretty stupid, right? Actually, hunting accidents kill somewhere around 2 people a year in Ontario. Smoking kills 16,000 a year. So, what's really stupid?
I just sent Jacob to the other room to look on the calendar, and he said, women and brushes. I'm like, I don't think that's the thing. On tomorrow's show, it's Women in Business, because we're celebrating women.
Yes, we are, and we should.
Yes, and also, Willy Wonka's opening for Superior Heights at the Theater Center, so we have them on the show, too.
I'm so excited for them.
Willy Wonka and Women in Business.
Thank you, Casey Security, for sponsoring the show for us every morning. We certainly appreciate it. And if you want to see something on the show, if you like the show, if you don't like the show, you can't talk to us. If you have some suggestions, tell us where you're watching from. You can email us at louandtimshow@gmail.com.
And we'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. Have a great day.
Bye.